graphic, on the top left-hand corner, there's a red light. That means we are being recorded. So every time you see that, it means the recording is happening. And also it means that nobody can record us without us knowing, obviously. So I'll pin Laura now and pin the slides. Feel free to keep the camera on or off. It's not an issue. Just enjoy the event. Anyway, in the video, only Laura will show. So thank you.
Yeah. So, are we recording now? Wissam. Yeah, we're recording now. Okay, great. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. All right, so 2021, how will you respond to it? We all know that, 2020 was a, crazy life-changing year. And now, now it's 2021. We're already in the second month of 2021. And, I firmly believe that 2021 is going to be better than 2020. So it's always good to have a positive intention for any year. All right, so there was a great Jupiter and Saturn conjunction back in December 2020. So 2020 ended with one of the decade's most auspicious astrological events, which was the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, which happened on the 21st of December, which was also the winter solstice. So the fact that these two planets came together in the first degree of Aquarius indicates the beginning of the age of Aquarius, which we are in right now. And this age is an age of massive transformation and massive awakening as well. So the age of Aquarius. So Saturn in Aquarius can bring forth energies of responsible and balanced freedom, careful change and innovation, cautious experimentation, freedom through structure. Freedom is a very big theme in the age of Aquarius and right now. We can see this, through protests that are happening around the world, and people getting sick and tired of the situation in the world now with with the coronavirus and the restrictions and all of that. So liberating routine and hard-won liberation. So it's the conscious and the deliberate freeing of oneself. And it's the inability to hold rigid positions or stay stuck permanently. It's remaining unfazed by any extreme. And in general, anything taken to an extreme is not good, right? So in life, it's always good to find the balance in things. Limitations on freedom. We've certainly experienced this last year, and we're still experiencing it now. And that's why there's lots of people that are rebelling, against these limitations on freedom. There's fear of change as well. Change is something that is, the one constant in life is change, but many times change can be scary. And now it's a time of change. So rather than fight against the change, embrace the change, right? Because the more you fight against something, the more power it has, over you. Giving form to new ideas. That's happening a lot right now. A change of direction by those in authority. I think that this year, the prediction is that there's going to be a lot, and we can even see that a lot of there's been a lot of CEOs that have been stepping down lately, and a lot of heads of state have been stepping down lately as well. So that's the change of direction of those in authority. Old things resurfacing in a new way or with new impact, and attempts to stop progress. Like one thing that's happening in the stage of Aquarius, and specifically with Saturn and Jupiter, is that it's kind of like the battle of wanting to stay in doing things the old way, and then wanting to move forward in a different way, right? So that's something that's happening now. So Saturn in Aquarius can also energize these polar opposite themes: tradition and progress, authority and rebellion. I think this authority and rebellion is going to be very visible this year. Conservatism and change, age and youth, security and adventure, and the classical and romantic impulses, materialism and idealism. And specifically about the materialism and idealism, I think that, because of everything that happened last year and is continuing to happen now, we've all had to stop. We've all had to stop and think and really look at what is important to us. What do we truly value? Is it all those material things, or is it the people and the relationships in our lives, right? So a lot of people have been doing a lot of introspection, and that's part of what's happening right now as well. So the positive potentials of Jupiter and Aquarius: dramatic breakthroughs and quantum leaps of all kinds. So rebirth and awakening. And, we can expect to see, very dramatic breakthroughs of all kinds, this year and further on. And quantum leaps of all kinds, quantum leaps of consciousness and quantum leaps of, new inventions, quantum leaps of technology. So rebirth and awakening, these are very big themes right now. Surprising resolution of problems, unexpected openings and opportunities, expanded horizons, changes of fortune or philosophy, and infectious optimism. That's always a really good thing. The infectious optimism. It's the more optimistic you are, and the more positive you are, the more you're going to attract good things into your life. So there's heightened aliveness. There's access to new layers of realms of experience, transcendence of petty problems and attachments, urges to share your light. Like if you feel good, if you're full of love and light, you want to share that. You want to share that with the rest of the world. Focusing on the light at the end of the tunnel. I think that that's really important right now, because it can feel like we're in a very long tunnel, especially because we've been in this situation for a year now, on and off. So focus on the light at the end of the tunnel. That's really important. And remember that this situation is not going to last forever. This too shall pass. Having eureka moments. All of a sudden you can get a flash of inspiration, or something will come to your mind. That's happening a lot right now. Feelings of universal redemption and collective epiphanies and awakenings. So all of this is happening right now, especially the awakenings. Breakthroughs that benefit everyone. One of the main themes of the age of Aquarius is that we're changing our consciousness. Instead of just thinking about ourselves, we've been living in this world that's all about me. What do I need? But the age of Aquarius and the consciousness is about the collective consciousness, right? It's about thinking about the world at large, and realizing that we're all connected, and everything that we do impacts and affects everybody in the world. So and it's also to start living from that belief as well, right? So it is a shift of consciousness, moving to more of a collective consciousness. We're in this together. Let's work together to make this world a better place in all ways. Everything around you coming vibrantly alive. Higher emancipation, freedom for all. The truth shall make you free. Maximum liberation, moments of genius or brilliance, and divine inspiration. I love the saying of divine inspiration. Really, that's a great thing to focus on, especially now when we're spending so much time at home. One thing that we can do is we can meditate, or just You know, find those moments of going inside of yourself, and really find that divine inspiration within you, and really, you know, think about what are those things that are important to you. Like, what do you want to focus on? Do you want to change the direction of your life? You know, are you having an impact, you know, in the world? You know, what do you really want to do? So those are good things to think about now. The Jupiter and Aquarius positive potentials may sometimes require significant effort. During times like these, it's more important than ever to remember that the bigger the challenge, the bigger the potential breakthrough. You know, big breakthroughs, many times you have to go through, you know, challenging moments to get to the other side. And I think that even now with everything that's happening with the coronavirus and the restrictions and the lockdowns and all of that, obviously all of that is very challenging. But I think that what's on the other side of that, you know, will be much better. So whether astrological energy expresses positively or negatively is up to us. So use your imagination. What kind of life-affirming, awe-inspiring world can we create together? How can you manifest this more wonderful reality in your own life right now? You know, I think that this is something good for everybody to think about. You know, what's something, you know, what's something that you can do right now, you know, to make your own life better, and to have a, you know, to have a bigger impact, you know, in the world in general. And you can also, you know, you can do it in different ways. You can think about, you know, different things that you can do every day, like have small goals every day, or else you can have like a bigger goal and work, you know, every day, do something, you know, to reach that bigger goal. You know, there's many different ways to do it. So Aquarius rules intuitive flashes. Are you getting intuitive hits about the things you can do to help co-create this awesome new age? Are you stepping into the highest expression of Aquarius, using your special gifts and talents in ways that delight you to serve the collective? You know, like in my own case, I get a lot of intuitive flashes, and all of a sudden I just, you know, think of something, or get some kind of messages. And I think that you know, the more you tune into yourself, the more you start getting these kinds of messages and these kinds of intuitive flashes. And it's really it helps you move forward in your life in many different ways. So that's all about, you know, it's about stepping into that Aquarian energy, which we're in right now. So don't wait for some external authority to tell you what to do. And that's very relevant right now, you know, because, you know, governments around the world are putting up all these, you know, restrictions and all of these rules. Your own inner wisdom, those intuitive knowings that resonate in your bones and your gut, is your most reliable guidance system. Your higher self sends down these intuitive messages. It knows your optimal course of action at every moment. So many astrologers see the age of Aquarius as a time when humanity takes control of the earth and its own destiny as its rightful heritage, with the destiny of humanity being the revelation of truth and the expansion of consciousness. So Aquarius, February 2021, and we're in it right now. So in February 2021, a staggering 7 planets, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, plus the asteroid Pallas, they're all clustered together in the sign of Aquarius, creating what's known as a stellium in astrology. Extremely high, like right now, you know, it's extremely high, this Aquarian energy. So this intense influx of Aquarius's fixed air sign energy in February will shift our focus to humanitarian issues, technological advancements, and unconventional innovations. And these themes will guide the framework of our society throughout all of 2021 and the years ahead. The last time that all these planets were in Aquarius was in February 1962, which saw the birth of the hippie movement, massive protests, and people standing up for equal rights. So we're in the same kind of energy, you know, that the Earth had in February 1962. So that's very significant. It's very significant and powerful. Mercury retrogrades in 2021. So continuing with the theme of air sign energy in 2021, we'll get an added dose of it via the three Mercury retrograde periods, all of which will take place within the element of air. So in the signs of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, respectively. So the first Mercury retrograde of the year begins on January the 30th, and we're still in Mercury retrograde. It ends on the 20th of February. So Mercury retrograde basically, you know, it can cause problems in communication, and it can also cause, you know, problems with the internet connection, things like that. So it's they say that it's not a good idea to sign any contracts or get married when it's Mercury retrograde. But I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that if you do sign, you know, an important contract, or if you get married, that, you know, that it's doomed. But, you know, astrologically, you know, the energies are a bit backwards and a bit reversing. So it's not the optimal time to do those kind of things. So this specific Mercury retrogrades finishes on the 20th of February. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Then the next one is on the May 29th, and the last one is on September 27th. So when Mercury retrogrades in these signs, we'll have to deal with extra confusion and matters of communication and thinking, as the air signs are the most social and mentally focused of the zodiac. However, this series of mercurial backspins also gives us an opportunity to press resets on the way we think and interact with one another, teaching us to be more thoughtful with our words and more intentional within both personal partnerships and community relations. You know, Mercury retrograde gives us a chance to clarify many things as well. So it can be a good thing as well. You know, a lot of people can be scared of Mercury retrograde, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as it sounds. Good things can happen during Mercury retrograde as well. Eclipses in Gemini and Sagittarius. So all of the lunar and solar eclipses this year will take place on the Gemini-Sagittarius axis, meaning they'll either be in one of these opposing signs or the other. So as always, these fateful lunations will bring about dramatic revelations, sudden endings, and plenty of unexpected new beginnings. I think that's one thing that's going to happen a lot this year. There's going to be dramatic revelations. A lot of unexpected things will come out. Sudden endings and unexpected new beginnings as well. So very a lot of dramatic things. So the first pair of spring 2021 eclipses arrive on May the 26th and June 10th. And while the fall eclipses will be on the November 19th and December the 4th. And eclipses are all about big changes. Eclipses bring about changes. So keep that in mind. So these Gemini and Sagittarius ruled eclipses will catalyze huge shifts in the way we think and communicate with our surroundings, as well as how we relate to the world at large. We're learning to understand our emotions and relationships on a more logical level and changing up our personal belief system. So thanks to the eclipses, our spiritual compasses and thought processes might look different once 2022 starts. So there's a steamy Venus-Mars conjunction. It's a good time to take notes to help you with your love life and relationships. So be prepared to turn up the heat this summer when romantic and sensual Venus aligns with bold and passionate Mars. You can bet that there's going to be sparks, especially when they meet within the realm of the dramatic fire sign like Leo, as they will on July 13th. So a conjunction aspect between these two planets only occurs once every 2 years, and it'll kick off a new cycle when it comes to relationships, sexual expression, and creativity. So we're getting bolder in the way we chase after what we want and being more expressive about what brings us pleasure. So while the steamy Venus-Mars conjunction will serve as a supercharged pinnacle of this glamorous cosmic connection, the love and sex planets will journey together through Leo from June the 27th through July 21st, giving us nearly a month to take advantage of the sweet and sexy harmony. So write this down, write this down in your notes and write this down in your calendar, that it's a really good time for love and relationships from June 27th to July 21st. So on top of it, neither Venus nor Mars will retrograde this year. So things will be running relatively smoothly in relationships. Saturn Uranus squares. So Saturn is a planet of rules, restrictions, and traditions, and it's spending the year in unconventional Aquarius. Uranus, on the other hand, is the change-making planet of awakenings and shock value, and it will be in the stubborn and grounded sign of Taurus for the duration of the year. So these conflicting planetary energies will come head to head on 3 separate occasions during the course of 2021, forming tense square aspects with each other on February 14th, so right in time for Valentine's Day, June 14th, and one final time on December the 24th. And this shows what I mentioned earlier about the battle between things staying the same, and then or things moving forward in a different way. So the Saturn Uranus squares shows that struggle that's happening now. So this friction-built series of cosmic quarrels will cause serious clashes when it comes to blending old structures with new ways of thinking in society. So Saturn's restrictive energy will try to find ways to maintain tradition and cling to the past, while rebellious Uranus will push to shake up the status quo and embrace futuristic innovations. These squares will challenge us to be more progressive and question our old belief systems while completely rethinking what we thought was possible. Essentially, they're teaching us to open our minds and change our ways to make the world a better place. So, one thing that's good to think about is, for yourself, think about, are you open? Are you open to creating a new world, or are you trying to cling on to the past, the way that things used to be? Because the way things used to be, before the coronavirus and before the lockdown and all of that, it doesn't look like things will ever be the way that they used to be. So rather than trying to hold on to that past, and rather than clinging on to that, it's a good idea to open yourself up to the possibility of a new world, and of course a new world which will be better in many ways. So your personal responsibility. So you can't control world events, but you always control how you react to everything. And this is a really, really important part. You can't control what happens. You can't control world events, but you always control how you react to everything, be that world events or how a certain person behaves in your life. It's always your choice. It's always your choice how you react to things. So you control your thoughts, your words, and your actions. You control your well-being and your state of mind. And everything is a personal choice. So you can choose, you can choose to be happy or you can choose to be miserable, but it's always your choice. No matter what your situation is, it is very important that you keep yourself happy and stable in all ways. So the better you feel, the more empowered you will be, and your vibration will be higher. And the higher your vibration is, the more you're going to be able to attract into your life, and the more you're going to be able to manifest things into your life as well. So the most important thing is to feel complete and fulfilled within yourself. And life is all about co-creating. You co-create your life, you co-create your life with with the universe, with God, whatever name you want to put on it. But yeah, life is a co-creation. So you do your part, you do your part, and then you do your part with your thoughts, your words, and your actions, and your beliefs as well. Everything needs to be aligned. And then the universe will meet you halfway and bring in people, events, and circumstances which will help you create whatever it is that you want to create in your life. So final thoughts. So the more aligned you are with yourself and with life and the universe, the more you will start attracting amazing people, events, and circumstances into your life. Use astrology as a tool to help you manifest amazing things into your life. And you can get your personal astrological birth chart done by an astrologer if you can. They need your birthday, the city where you were born, and the time you were born. Because when you do an astrological chart specifically about you, then you see exactly where all the planets were and what signs they were in when you were born. So that's a chart specifically for you. Because when you read the horoscopes and newspapers and magazines, those are very general. Those are very general, and it's not specifically about you. But if you do your personal astrological birth chart, that is specifically about you. And it's amazing everything that comes out in these charts. So vision boards, create your future. This is an exercise that I love doing. I do this exercise with all of my clients, and it's a great exercise to do at the beginning of the year, because so you're basically creating a collage of your future dream life. So you create a vision board with images of the life that you'd like to create. You go through magazines and cut out images that you like. You think about the different areas of your life: relationships, self-development, career, travel, hobbies, health, finances, social life, family, fun, and creativity. So you think about all these different areas of your life, and you take some magazines and you start going through the magazines and you cut out images that you like. And then you can take a poster board and you start pasting these images on the poster board. And it's allow yourself to dream big, because many times people don't give themselves permission to dream big, because they don't know how some big dream that they have is gonna happen, how it's gonna manifest. But the great thing is that you don't need to know. You don't need to know how it's gonna happen, because what you need to do, you need to have your vision. You need to have that intention. You need to believe that whatever it is that you want is possible. You also need to believe that you're worthy of receiving whatever it is that you want to receive. And so when all of these elements are aligned, then the universe will bring people, events, and circumstances that will help you manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. But all of those beliefs need to be aligned. Your mindset needs to be aligned, to be able to create and manifest something that you want to manifest. And one great thing to do is to actually feel the way that you would feel if you already had something that you want to manifest. For example, if you want to manifest a relationship, feel the way that you would feel if you were already in that relationship. Like, use all your senses, feel how you would feel. What would you see, what would you hear, what would you taste, what would you smell? Like, use all of your senses and step into that reality, and that way you're gonna attract that reality into your life. So if you do this vision board, it's a great idea to put it in a place where you see it every day, like your bedroom. And then visualize yourself doing whatever it is that you want to do on this vision board. Because when you visualize, your brain doesn't know if it's happening for real or if you're visualizing. So so it's a really powerful exercise to do, and athletes do this all the time. They visualize themselves winning a race before they actually win the race. So so yeah, so vision boards are great. So it's a great exercise to do at the beginning of the year. And yeah, dream big. So stay open to magic. Stay open to magic and life surprising you. You just you just never know what can happen in life. Life is full of surprises, and your whole life can change in 1 second. You can meet somebody and your life changes, or you get a new job and your life changes. Like everything can change so fast. And it's a good thing to remember as well, especially if you're going through a difficult moment. Things can change very, very fast. So I offer coaching sessions in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. You can get in touch with me if you'd like a session. My email is lauracoaching@gmail.com, and my website is laurarunenkowski.com. So thank you very much.